So the Congress is, as Alex has highlighted, I think he put it very well. It's literally a mountain. And when we looked back then and realizing that that mountain is 2 months away, I don't know whether to say, are we ready to climb it, or are we on a descent, or are you on an ascent, or are we now enjoying the top? It's very difficult. But as we carry on, we will realize together what needs to be done. So earlier on, we just need to set up policies and different concept papers. How will things happen and unfold on each area? What will happen if one thing is in prayers and worship, bursaries, the policies, and of course now the policies, the application of that is the one that is pending, meaning the training of those people. With regard to the venue, you are aware that it's going to be at the AICC, and all the rooms are almost complete. There are just few renovations that are being done to a couple of rooms, just below 5 rooms that we're waiting. The room allocation is not yet done, just because we're waiting for registration and to see which one people are picking and choosing. On the program, it's almost finalized. The student program, the breakout sessions and everything is 95% finalized. When I say 95, it doesn't mean that the 5% is not done, but it's because we haven't allocated, like, let's say 1 or 2 things, or we haven't done the final logistical type of thing. Otherwise, the rest are done. On the streams, pre-Congress, it's yet to be completed, but it's 95% as well. Main Congress, equally the same. Student program, everything is finalized, including the team, the program, it's all set and go. This is the children between 2 and 14 years. As for post-Congress tour and bus, that's one, we are not in charge of that. It's one of those things that we'll dedicate to other people to do, and they will report back. So we're not sure yet, but we'll talk about that just shortly. The hospital visit, we're taking bookings for those going to the visit. So the children program, it's something that will look like that. They are not being left alone. So there will be their registration, they will have their badges, they will have their tours and talent shows, and some of them will go out. Some days they will go for snake park, swimming, and all of that. And you can see on my left-hand side, there is a team dedicated for that. Sorry, I might have jumped something. As a pre-Congress stream are concerned, the pre-Congress conference will be parallel to the student conference. And we have 10 streams that will run concurrently. And that is bioethics, which will be moderated by John Wyatt; family medicine, moderated by Rebecca Zachariah; cell line process, moderated by Lata Matthew; prime, teaching as these are taught, will be moderated by Rob Sadler; advocacy by Geoff Barrows; becoming a surgical educator, this will be moderated by Kier Telander; Christian healthcare leadership will be moderated by John Greenlaw; healthcare mission, moderated by Vita Fredland; and the cell line processes training of the trainer, moderated by Lata Matthew; strengthening your national fellowship will be moderated by our very own Peter Saunders. So you can see the program on it themselves. Some have been finalized, some are yet to be finalized. 1 and 2 just need, on the website, even when you go there, you'll see 1 and 2 need to be finalized. Otherwise, the facilitators, similarly, 1 and 2 need to be finalized. Otherwise, the rest are all finalized and ready to go. Speaking of the program, it will be something looking like that. You will have part of this program. The only reason why you don't see much of details here is because we wanted it to be on 1 page. So in your booklet, you'll have something program like that, but which will have other parts So meaning you'll have one that will have only students, one that will have only stream, the other that will have main Congress. But going through quickly, it will start on a Tuesday and it will run until Sunday. And the breakfast, we expect people to take breakfast from the hotels where they are staying. So early morning, around 8, we'll start with praise and worship, then 2 plenaries, then a tea break. These teas will be provided by us. It's included in your conference registration, as well as your lunches. So they all will be saved there. And then will be followed by those breakout sessions, which you'll learn more about them as we go. Otherwise, the dinners will be, only 3 dinners will be served at the venue. We might get some sponsor for some additional dinner, but the dinners, the days where we don't have dinners, we expect people to network with each other, discover Arusha. Arusha is quite a good place to be and to network with each other. So this is basically the overview, but I don't want to bother you with much more details. We'll get there. As we spoke about breakout sessions, we'll have quite a lot. You might have seen the plenaries, on a student congress is only 4. And during the main conference, we have 5 plenaries, while you'll have a lot of breakout sessions. Though there are 4, it should be 10 in total, 4 and 6, 4 in a student congress and 5. This is because people are different and they have different tastes. So to put people all to listen to one particular topic, it will be boring. So to accommodate all the talks, they are divided into other aspects of the ICMDA. And for us, we have chosen the 10 points of the Lovers Cross as a team to develop. That's including leaders, leadership, and all of that, the 10 points that we'll mention a little bit later. A breakout session, the speakers, we have 120 sessions, 24 of which 120 have confirmed. Some have just declined 2 sessions just recently. Something just happened, and we're still waiting for a couple of them to finalize. So you can see it's almost 98% completed. As far as where the speakers are coming from, before you complain about us choosing particular theme, the speakers are coming from everywhere, across all our 14 regions. So those some more than others. And you can see majority are coming from Europe and North America, East Africa, and Southern Africa. Of course, for obvious reason, East Africa will have quite a few, but they are spread all over all our 14 regions. We have speakers coming from all over there. So it's a World Congress. Breakout speaker registration status. This is just to mention a quick, I'm not trying to blame you guys. It's just a quick reminder of the registration where it's sitting. Our breakout speakers, out of 95 breakout speakers, 45 have paid, some are still not yet registered, some are still pending bursary, some have gotten. So that is just to show you that we are yet to complete that portion of speakers. We will have another aspect of the conference, which is the abstract. We're inviting you all, those who would like to share something. We invite them, and the link is on the website. So far we have 10. We can still take some more, a few more if you want to share with us something that you want to share with us. Now, the good news that I've done is I don't have my clock next to me, so I can go on. I will blame just my clock wasn't working. So the budget that we had initially was just over $500,000. This excludes your accommodation and transportation, but included about $250,000 that was required for scholarship. And at that stage, we were worried because it was a mountain. Where do we get it? So we sent out appeals and everywhere, and praise God, our initial target was to say, how do we raise that money or bring people, young people who could benefit from this. Myself benefited from this bursary to attend the Sydney Congress in 2006. And I believe other people should too as well. And we targeted, our target was 150 to bring 300 people. But when we look at the bursary applications, they were sitting at over 600. We said, no, let's set a new target. And the new target is now sitting at 250, knowing that this will help 300 people to come, some receiving support of travel and accommodation, because we know that travel could be even 3 times or 4 times the registration cost. Or we could still get the same 250, but allow more people to come, 500, for example. But the good news is we currently sitting as we speak at over 140,000 of that initial target, meaning we are just over 100 to go. Where this money came from? This money came mainly for 3 sources. One is the individuals, which is the largest, constituting the biggest lump, 72 people, mainly from Europe and UK particularly. And the other part came from CMDA, USA, 45,000, CMF UK, as well as CMF Korea. They have blessed us with that money so far that we managed to distribute. Now, I just wanted to share with you this testimony that moved. We have received a lot of these emails of explaining what the circumstances people are living in. I bled the source of the testimony, but I think it might be just anyway, because it's common. Someone says, hello, thank you, I'm so-and-so, thank you for your message. However, this is in response to a letter that we sent out as a mobilization. We normally send it to 5,000 people who have either that join ICMDA for something and they left their email, and we send them regularly this email update. And one responded to this and said, thank you for your message. However, I would like to inform you that my financial situation does not allow me to participate in the coming event you're organizing. Indeed, I'm a general practitioner working in, unfortunately, the country just didn't play enough, a Christian and the father of a family with 3 kids, with a salary of $350 per month. Naturally, it's difficult for me to tie the 2 ends of the month with this salary. Can I benefit from a scholarship that will allow me to participate in this event? Cordially. Now, the point that I'm trying to raise here is to show you that majority of people on the continent or in the third world, with that salary, depending on where you're working, of 350 to 500, this is exactly the payment we are charging. Not students actually are paying that, 300. So meaning when they come, just by registering, they are sacrificing 4 months of their salaries. And that's, if that not appeal, I don't know what will. Now, after we received the generous donation and got the bursaries, this is the distribution of the bursary. We've done the first one, which we did and 102. We managed to give it to 119, 95 people, just about 200. And our registration currently is sitting at 811. Of course, today is higher than that. This is because we are taking data from the 7th of April. The reason being, a lot of money comes in at a different time to clear on our side. That's why we do the numbers at a particular date. So that date, the registration was sitting at 811. And those that have pledged to pay differently, you can see their numbers. Those that have decided to pay via national fellowship and bursary and direct transfer, and you can see them there. Now, the regions, I just wanted to highlight the region where a lot of registration delegates came from. Europe and East Africa have almost neck and neck. I think it's going to be a conference for Europe and East Africa. The rest of the continent will just join them to have fun. But Europe and East Africa, they seem to be the one dominating the whole Congress. But so far, we've got everybody from all the regions. Thank you, the secretaries, for that. So far, this is just to mention about the bursaries. People in your region who have not responded to the bursaries, please allow that process to carry on. And I know I've been talking to a lot of you lately, harmonizing how do we make everybody come to the Congress. Those who have received and those who are still on the waiting list, we don't want to leave behind anybody who's willing to come. And in God trust, we believe that we will reach that. Now, since I'm talking to field workers and board members, I just want to tell you your registration status, not to make you feel guilty, but just to show you where we are at. The registration, on the field worker side, we have total of 70. This is with staff, 3 staff. Out of that, 46 have registered already, which is a majority. And 15 have not yet registered. Just speak to us personally and see what is the challenge, and we can facilitate that. Would love to meet everybody, even those who did not come to LIN, and we see how we can meet that need. The board member side, almost everybody has registered and paid. Only 1% that yet to register, but all the board, they have led by example. They have registered and paid for their registration. As a committee, we're so excited and we're looking forward to that. What was the strategy to reach that? We had put up together a strategy to mobilizing, and the strategies were targeting at the various levels. Those levels were organizing meetings and webinars, and you must have seen us coming to those webinars and answering questions, and somewhere in the regions, somewhere on the ICMDA World. We have made some publicities, Facebook pages, Twitter, Instagram, that have been done, the fundraising campaigns, all of them at a different target level, individual, regional, or international. And of course, in the same vein, we have one upcoming trip where I'm joining the CMDA convention next week to also promote the Congress. The material we have developed ongoing, the posters and the regular posts, WhatsApp and all of that. What were the common messages? So we grouped the messages into mobilizing through registration, accommodation and travel. Of course, we cannot do much in terms of travel because we don't own yet a plane. Hopefully in the future, yes. But registration, we can do something. Accommodation, we can do something. So the registration, basically, you saw how we have targeted people by scaling or sliding scale the prices, targeting regions, targeting the bursaries, all of that to facilitate that. In terms of accommodation, we had to arrange low budget and a normal accommodation and see how that could help in people to attend. But one of the other things that we did was to put a different rate, early bird, current bed, which is due actually at the end, which has been extended until the end of February, and the last one. So this was a 20% discount, 10% discount, and that was a normal rate, which will kick in instead of 1st of April, it will now be 1st of May. And that is a good news. Now, if you want to ask me, where the finances sitting now as we speak? As we speak, the finances starting is the registration has so far given us a total income of 276,000. While those that have transferred, this is the money that is sitting in our account in the UK, and those that have paid directly to the Arusha account is 47,000. So I'll give you a summary shortly. And what we have used so far, total expenditure of 45,000, while total expenditure in Arusha is 12,000. This is just because we paid for low accommodation budget deposit to secure those rooms, expecting to get it back from the people when they come. So we expect as well another income from the exhibitors. So far, we've got a few exhibitors. We've sent the emails and the responses, and we'll talk more about that later. Otherwise, the income exactly as it's sitting, registration has given us 271. Bursary has given us, as you just saw, 140, and the exhibitors has given us 9,000 for the 811 people who have registered. Minimum expenditure so far. So we are sitting at, if you remember, for those who remember, the figure I gave you, the budget that we had of 550, this is 440, meaning we are just about 100,000 remaining for us to fulfill the whole budget. So if you can pray with us, that's our target. Low cost accommodation, yes, people have been booking, and we encourage you guys to book and have 85 beds have been booked, but we can still make more. Those who are booking the post-Congress hospital visits, please do so. There are already 13 people with a group that have booked that. This is the Kilimanjaro Hospital, just in the foot mountain of the Mount Kilimanjaro. This is the hospital itself. We took it recently during our trip there. And those volunteers, we're still looking for more. 23 have come. We want some that will help at the different levels. Registration, accommodation, logistic, hospitalities, we're still recruiting volunteers. If you are keen, please join. The translators, yes, we really need, as we are talking to the regional secretaries, please remember the regions have language issues. If you can allocate people who will help us to be in a translating team, we'll start soon the translating for them. Logistics, of course, we are hiring equipment. We're talking about choir, we're talking about audiovisual, live stream. We have all the quotation. We just need to sign a memorandum of understandings and sign the deliveries. Airport and shuttles, this is mainly for the guest speakers. So what are the prayer requests that we read? We need God's provision. God will speak to his people, smooth travel, good attendance, safety for all, and no hindrance. We have a WhatsApp group and the prayer mates that we're circulating this. And if you want to join, if you're on a website, you can just join the crew there. I see we have quite a few people who have joined that WhatsApp group. The tours activities, we are almost at the end, please. The tour activities before and after, we spoke about Act Africa, which is the third party is arranging this through that, or you can arrange it through individuals. The last meeting we had a month ago with Act Africa, they said there was a lot of inquiry, but very few people have actually paid. I'm not sure what it is now. I've asked them, we'll have another meeting with them to try to see what's the feedback. And of course, some people are arranging their individual. We don't have access to that data. Therefore, I cannot tell you much. But what I can tell you is that we need you guys to get involved. And if we need you to get involved, you can either register as a delegate, which majority of you have done, support other delegates to register, which some of you are doing, contributing to the bursary fund. I've seen a lot of people doing this and contacting us or contacting people that they know, or some people even sending letters or drafting letters to be supporting to the national organization or regional groups, or joining the mobilizing team and pray for the Congress, or you can just join the volunteers. Now, we keep updated our frequently asked questions. As soon as we get them, please visit them and familiarize yourself with the website. I hope I didn't take all my time, so you'll have more questions to ask. But my intention was actually to take enough so that I don't have questions to struggle with.
Let's just take Alex Atubi's asked Augustine, are there plans to facilitate visas, especially for regions that may be required to apply before arrival? So what's what's the plan for people who need visa letters?
Yeah, I think this is the most also important question, because some countries, we initially didn't know that some countries have a long waiting for the visas. First, Tanzania allows countries with no representation to apply for electronic visa. You can apply electronically, which is a good news, because you don't have to travel. Two, some countries, they can get the visa on arrival, but you just must make sure that your country is among those that can get visas on arrival. Some other countries where it becomes critical, and we will encourage you to check the status of your country on the website that we have put the link, is they have this system they call referral countries, reference visa, where their visas can take up to a month or longer. So we require people to start now, and that's why we were forcing to send out the emails, the invitation letters, so that people can proceed with application of visas. We will try and identify those countries that I struggle. I know on the continent, Nigeria is one of those countries that require to apply very early. There is Pakistan, there is another country, but we are so glad that yesterday all the Pakistan visas were approved. But the advice from ministry yesterday was that we ask that everybody apply online, not going through the arrival, especially for those countries that requires a referral visa. Please, 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 please don't be surprised when you arrive at the airport and you are told that your country requires a visa, because that will be a long process. They might deport you. Please check your country, check the link that is there, apply early for the visa if you need to. Those that do not, they can get a visa on arrival, or those that do not require a visa, you fine, but please check your country. It's very difficult for us to go on individual countries, but we can guarantee you any documentation that is required, we will follow that up with the team on the ground to check, to make sure that you have all the documents that are required. As I just told you yesterday, the Pakistanis people got their visas, though they are on that list of the referral countries.
Okay, so thanks. So the message is get in early, go online, check your status. There's links people have put in the chat to follow, look at the website and so on. Hedwin, did you have a question just before we close?
Yeah, in the chat, I asked, because in 2018 we have 84 countries. Can we know that how many countries already represented in this World Congress, and how many are the target? So we are targeting 100 countries. I just want to know, like, how many countries that we have achieved.
That question is it's a good question, and we still want to target every individual country in the world, not necessarily the 100 that you are mentioning, because there are some countries that are contact, and we want them to come and see what ICMDA is. So our target is not 84 or 100, but it's almost the entire world. If we can find any representative, and when we have a 6-year celebration and everybody with a flag, to have all of them. And it is a good analysis to do, to find which countries people are coming from. But we haven't done that, but we can do that. It's easier because we know for all our registration have numbers, have regions. That's why we can give you statistics of regions. It can take us just a few seconds and we can tell you how many countries there are, but we haven't done that.
Okay, but we'll get that information to you on follow-up.